when Lupe came to People's Forum, and you know, Osiris is like the Neo in the EODUB Matrix, right? Like he's the new advanced version of this rap shit, and it was so powerful when Lupe showed up, and his response to Lupe was like something I haven't seen before. It would be like when I saw KRS, you know what I'm saying, and I like bugged out watching
Right.
Cyrus respond to, yo, is Lupe on this line right now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my brother, did we just speak you
What
into
up, bro?
existence digitally, man?
Nah, man. So you know it's all about design.
Yeah,
That's Vice, man. Vice stays working the universe even from beyond the physical, man. Salute,
well,
King.
Lupe, we've been
What up?
talking since 2 p.m. yesterday, brother, and I don't know how much you've heard or what have you, but God bless you for joining. And I was literally just talking about how the legends, like we get to get exposed to legends. And you know, I'm gonna go ahead and give you your flowers right here at I don't know, 12:16 Eastern time on this day. And I'm gonna say that you are a giant in this shit, my G. And we study your lyrics like we study, you know, words in a textbook or something. Like it's incredible to hear you and see you on this line. And it's the power to what my man Vice Versus, who we recently lost, how he's um brought us all together. So if you wouldn't mind sharing just a minute, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the People's Forum joint. I remember, I feel like I heard about EODUB like a while ago, but it wasn't really like on my radar. And actually, one of our Sosa members, one of our ITs, he's actually a professor at MIT, and he's a poet though. So he's wrote books on poetry, did all type of crazy things in that space, and he wanted to try and get into rap. So he came into Sosa as one of our instructors, teaching computational poetics. And he was like, yo, I'm trying to get into, you know, the hip hop community, right? Big, tall, lanky white guy, unassuming. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to this thing called EODUB. He's like, to get into the groove of the community. You know, he was trying to find community in the rap space and what would be like an introduction for him to get into it. And he went down to EODUB. And I was like, oh, okay. I like that hustle, you know, trying to immerse yourself in the community in a legitimate way. And so I actually went down there to see him, right? I was in New York and was make sure he cool. I jumped on the train, went over there. And when I went in, I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, what is this? Like, is this like a game show? Like, what are y'all doing? And I sat in the back. I don't know if anybody was there that was there. I snuck in and went into the back.
Yeah, trust me, the hip hop rumors, we was whispering all around the room that you was there.
And I remember, so I'm in the back in the dark in the chair, just listening, vibing. You know, I seen when I saw some, his name's Doc, and seeing him, I was like, I'm just in the back. Don't worry about me. I'm chilling. And lo and behold, who come and blow up my spot? Vice. He's like, yo, you know you're gonna do something, right? Or something along them lines. I'm like, man, I'm just here to observe and chill. Like I'm just cooling. It's like, nah, B. When you know, you can feel that energy where it's like, yo, if you here, you're gonna touch this stage. You know, like I'm gonna force you in one capacity. I'm gonna persuade you. I'm gonna influence you to touch this stage, or at least be a part of this, or in some capacity. And I wound up rapping. You know, getting on stage, kicking a few bars, doing some things. That was my first time ever meeting Osiris. You know, and I was actually kind of like, what is this? That was my first time ever going to an event. And I'm still trying to process like what's going on. So it's multiple narratives occurring. And I'm like, yo, these dudes are nice. You know, I'm thinking it's like, it might be some little open mic situation, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, no, it's like, they're nice. Like, that dude's really nice. Like, that dude's incredible. This dude's incredible. And I started to get up out my seat and just start to get closer and closer to the stage, drawn in by the talent. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And then I didn't know that, you know, I didn't know the setup again, right? So then I see Vice start to do the, you know, kind of the the rap pieces in between, you know, between segment to segment, and then kind of how it was finished off and ended. I was like, yo, this whole thing is like, you know, like I feel like home. You know, I hadn't felt anything like that in years, you know. Being around a group of MCs and the energy and people, you know, attentive to the craft in that way. And
Well,
after that,
let me tell you one thing about that. Is yesterday, I'm going to share for the room that I was very apprehensive to even have this session, right? Like we've been on since 2 p.m. yesterday. Some of us, like myself, went from drinking Hennessy last night to drinking coffee here this morning. But frankly, I was hesitant to have this event yesterday. And one of my other brothers, Baxter, God bless him, he's going to be sad he missed this moment. But he texted us yesterday and he said, you know what? I know you're fearful, but remember when we were at the People's Forum and we were all whispering like Lupe's here, Lupe's here. Who was it that was fearless enough to walk up to Lupe and just ask him to stage? Is Vice. That's a fact. That happened, I mean, like 21 hours ago. I had this conversation, and that was the impetus to get my mental strength up to even have this session, because I was a mess throughout this call. But that energy, that fearless energy to walk up to you and ask you to get on stage was Vice, was our brother. You know what I'm saying? He saw you as a comrade in this thing. You know, not like a lot of us are afraid to touch rappers like you sometimes, or approach, for fear of either being like our heroes are gonna say, yo, beat it, or they're not, you're like, we're gonna have a bad experience, right? And I gotta say, you brought the polar opposite to our world. You know what I'm saying? You were as amenable, respectful, and connected as any one of us on this call. And it was powerful to have you part of that, and clearly part of this.
After the joint was over, you know, I stayed there for like another maybe hour, I think, right? Chopping it up, getting a complete understanding of what I just saw, who was who. Some of the MCs was there. Was listening to Osiris, and I didn't really understand like what he was. You know what I'm saying? You just called him Neo, right? And I was like, I don't understand what he is, right? Like he's nice, but what is this? And you have another kid with a whole nother thing and another thing. And I wasn't exposed to Osiris's power until the finals, right? So I didn't know what he was capable of, honestly, until I see him at the finals. And that's a whole nother conversation. But like chopping it up, building, you know, we at the end of the jump, they cut all the lights on. I'm surrounded by a bunch of MCs telling them about Sosa, getting a better understanding of where they are. And it was beautiful, man. And I honestly, you know, left that day a fan of everybody in there in one capacity. But then also like, you know, I want to be a part of this. Like I want this in my life. Like I need this in my life. Not as just a rapper with a career, but just as a human being, you know, to be around the energy of wordsmiths and people doing things in a new and refreshing and exciting way with a lot of talent, and then all the love. And then I got close to James. I got close to a few of the other brothers and y'all crew, and I got to see the technical side of it. You know, I got to see the structure of it and how y'all was actually, you know, promoting it. Then I was like, y'all do this all over the world. It was so much over those first couple weeks into months where we started to build, which, you know, culminated in, you know, me coming to and judging the finals. And I don't even know if y'all know, I was so like, you know, I was in the back because what can I say? I don't want to like do some mock humbleness, but I mean, y'all humbled me. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. It was like, this is, I'm low on the totem pole here. You know, I feel like I have to earn my space in that, to the point where I paid to get in when we was judging at the final.
Wow. We'll give you a refund there, buddy. You earned that.
Nah. I walked in, I seen Vice. Vice was like, you good? And I, you know, nobody knows. Like, nah. I'm gonna pay my dues. You know, like, let me earn this
respect.
Kind of a thing.
Super, you know? High respect. Can I ask a question now? Can I ask that the young God, if he's capable of speaking right now, I'm putting him on the spot. Osiris has said, you know, behind the scenes to us, how much this has meant to him meeting you. You know, you're his hero, like maybe Nas or KRS was to me as a young man. And again, this is the spirit of Vice bringing people together. Like this all day and all night, we've been talking about.
Right.
Yo, and just
Osiris,
to piggyback on that real quick and to shout Vice even more, that was always his vibe. We could be at a concert and he would be trying to get backstage to see his man to try to get somebody to do some dub or some rhyming or some way where he was trying to harness that talent, bro. So like kudos to Vice, because we would be in the Stone Ages right now if he didn't have the bravery to catapult us and to keep pushing us forward, bro.
We would have still been standing around people's forum whispering like Lupe's here, Lupe's here.
Real facts, real facts.
Yo, Osiris, can you say a few words to the guy?
I appreciate you, Zoo. Lupe, I know you weren't here for most of the conversation. The 12-hour marathon, a convo that we had, 18-hour. But one thing I want you to, pick up with Vice and especially EODUB as an extended family, as much as this is like a high-level competition, the thing that really makes it special for me is like, I could say that I flew around the world with Vice, and I could also say he baked me a cake for my birthday twice. You feel me? It's like I could say that I battled against cats at the highest level of competition and pushed myself to the furthest extent at the Michael Jordan, Kobe, Shaq level of intensity of competition. But when I lost, I could say that James hopped on the phone and was like, yo, I know you lost and I know you felt some type of way about that, bro, but I respect your talent. How can we keep you in tune? And I know you've been in a lot of spaces, industry-wise and just hip-hop period, and that little underbelly of love isn't always present. And I think that's what's been most special, most special. And as far as you, brother, you my favorite rapper of all time, no gas. I remember being, a kid in my first year of college. Actually, the first year I started actually rapping was the first year I discovered your music. And it was in the same space that all of these brothers met 10 years prior, who ended up creating End of the Week at Hunter College, ironically. And so, I love your music. But at the same time, what I've loved about you so far, since you've been in tune with the dub, is that you do a lot of things that you don't have to do. You know the power of your word and the power of anything that you do. And you acknowledge that. And I feel like you acknowledge your responsibility to that power. And so you do little things like share our posts and like shout us out. You don't have to, but you know what it can do for us. And so you do it. And I super, 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 super appreciate you for that, bro.
Well, I appreciate the love and the you getting all soft right now, but I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Before you go, before you say what you gotta say, I just want you to know, because you missed the last 22 hours. We've been giving each other roses for 22 hours straight. So it's don't get gas. I mean, you're dope and all, but we've also been sharing love with everybody who jumps on and letting
no. Peep the game. Peep why I said it though, because at Sosa, there's a room, right, with a picture of Osiris Red with a target on it. So we've been, for the past like 6 months, we've been training up, Sosa members to kill you, bruh. Like we
got the ninjas preparing.
We had two Sosa members that was going to participate in the EODUB competition that was coming up at the Nin Factory, to the premiere. And we've been training. Literally, we have a EODUB training camp that is run by Mickey Fax, IT, and myself, where we've been training, MCs to take you out. Like you've been on our head, like, yo, we gotta study this now,
brother.
Yo, you know what's messed up? But you know what's messed up about that is that Osiris is the one who's been reviewing those video submissions and his own successor to come in, which is exactly like a 20-year remake of Freeze Ever Flowing putting Zoo onto MTV's Effects battle, and they come back 5 weeks later to battle him.
Right. Wow. We've been studying Neo, trying to build Neos over here. And I say that to say this is where the love comes in. Like, you are, man. Like, I can't believe that, you know, an institution could build up an MC to the level that you at, bro. Like, you are scary nice, you know, and to see all of the pieces and parts that go into it, like, it's terrifying. And we tell every day, we tell the MCs when we was training them up, like, you know, we were doing mock EODUBs. They had to do a full EODUB every day, right? We going through their concepts and things of that nature, learning the system. And we would tell them every day, it's not good enough. Like, dude's gonna murder you. Like, you're gonna get murdered. You're gonna get murdered. It's not good enough. You're gonna get murdered. And I
baby, you talking wild spicy.
Dang. Whoever that is was breaking up just now.
Yeah,
I think that was Penn. He was trying to say you talking wild spicy, Lou.
Yeah, because
I'm just keeping it a buck. It's all in the love though. But
yeah,
nah,
like,
of course.
That's how much it affected myself and the organization, and it wouldn't have started if Vice when it came up and pulled me out of the crowd.
wow, respect, bro. And you know, since we off our cool shit now, I'm gonna say that when I saw you watching MCs in the MC challenge, the one you judged, I definitely saw the 12-year-old boy come out of Lupe. On your fanboy shit.
I hadn't felt that in like 10 years, man. I hadn't been around that in 10 years. And I felt like this is home for me. And I you know, I'm not saying that for gas or anything like that. Like, I'm a rapper. That's what I do. That's my job. I just happen to be able to get paid for it, you know? But even if I didn't, I would still be doing it. And it's rare to find a place like that where you feel like you belong, you know? And I felt when I was there, it was one of the happiest. I know gas. Ask Mickey Facts. You know, IT. It was one of the happiest moments of my life, B. You know, to come to know that places like that exist. You know, and that you welcome, and everybody in there is learning or building and vibing and appreciative. And it was beautiful, man. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And that's why when I put on that post, I meant it, you know, like, you know, Vice was a beautiful brother who did a beautiful thing, you know. And sometimes we get so caught up in just trying to capitalize off something or to gas something that we forget about making beauty, you know, or the beautiful things that we leave behind. And that's like a fulfilled life, you know, to do something beautiful, to have other people acknowledge that, yeah, you did something that was creative, you did something that was financially successful, you did something that was, you know, XYZ, but you did something that was beautiful, you know, and that shit touched me deeply, you know. So
We broke Zoom, y'all. We fucking broke Zoom. Gangster.
Oh, no.
Gangster.
Wow.
I just want to go on the record and say, although it said that the host ended the meeting, I definitely did not touch a damn thing.
No one believes you did. No one believes it.
100% did not touch nothing.
You hating on Lupe?
Yo, who's the hater? Who's the hater?
Yo, has this
Zoom.
has this just turned into the most monumental shit in hip hop history just now? Am I still? Oh, is this real? Am I here with y'all right now?
Did anybody else get cut off, or that was just me?
Everybody.
Everybody
We
did.
all got cut off.
I got cut off. Damn,
I was like, yo, what's up with Jacob? What happened to him, bro? What is he doing?
I really thought Lupe broke the internet real quick, like shouting out Vice, like the stars aligned at a high level, and this shit just cut out.
Real facts, bro. It was like, and blah, he's a beautiful and damn.
Yo, shout out to the heads that's on here. I know I actually went to sleep and came back, but it's great to see Kerry and Winter and Kerry, the DJ Kerry, Dirty Mac, Rita. Good morning.
Oh
Rita.
shit, Dirty Mac, you out there? V.
Yeah, Rita.
Nicole.
I'm out here.
My wife didn't get to see you last night, Nicole. She's gonna be tight.
I peeked in. I thought I saw her.
She was here for a minute. Okay, good. Then she did see you. Yo, Osiris, how dope was that, fam? Come on, keep it above.
I mean, it's bittersweet, bro. Because I mean, you know, the reason that we having this convo is not, you feel me? So it's bittersweet. That's the best I can say.
Heard you.
Yeah, but I was definitely hitting you up on the back on the WhatsApp, like, wow.
I know
Wow.
you and Penn. Penn was cutting my ass.
I was definitely right in your motherfucking inbox, like, yeah, boy.
Me and Penn are always sharing jokes about Papoose, and he was like, "Stop lying, nigga. You know Papoose, your goat."
But yo, quick sidebar. I wasn't gonna let Lupe sit here saying niggas was gonna smoke you. Fuck that. What is you talking about?
Niggas said they got the target.
I know it's all in the spirit of competition. I'm just saying. I wasn't gonna sit here and have this nigga saying niggas is gonna smoke you.
I don't know. It sounds like you'll be sharpening your pen for a while now, bro. Just
Of course
wait.
it's Penn.
I'm retired, bro. I'm retired. Let the young boys have it now. You feel me?
That's like when the Shogun Master is up in the temple, just sharpening the sword, waiting for the assassins to try to.
Word.
That's ill. They got a picture of Osiris up on the wall, like, kill him, kill him.
That shit is crazy.
But you know what?
It's-
But the funny thing is, Lupe's telling the truth. He's really on it like that. Like the whole
it's crazy.
the whole school and everything. Like they really on it like that for real, yo. They really training for real. I believe everything he says.
Yeah, it's a fact. When
How many
James,
challenges did do per day? How many challenges? Like 5?
yeah, right. Yo,
You know,
when James,
like-
Yo,
when
real
James-
talk though, when I hosted that last challenge and you was doing the grab bag blindfolded, and I had the stage view while I was filming it.
Yo,
and,
that view
like,
that you had on
and
your
Lupe,
camera, bro.
and Lupe is over your shoulder judging, and like, if the judge's reaction was painted all over him, bro, yo, he was hype when you hit them bars and you pulled out the flag. I think at the end,
Yeah,
yo, the whole room
I know, bro.
exploded, dog.
I tell people all the time, like when I think back to it, I don't remember being blind. Like in my mind, I remember
Gotta
being
find
able
that
to
clip.
see.
Gotta
You
find
feel
that
me?
clip, bro.
And so you sent it to me. You got that clip.
Oh, you
sent
got
it
that? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Beauty.
But,
True. That's the beauty.
Yo, no disrespect at all to Papa Left and Big Red, and Randy Mason and everybody else performed that night. But you know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. When soon as you did the Nipsey thing, it was over. I was like, I don't know how, you know, like that's yo, I hate this dude.
you know, real talk. Like I think it has to be said in the context of EODUB building me up. Like I had to meditate on doing that. I had to meditate on doing that blindfold performance. And it's not something that I could have just came in if this was my first year with the dub and done that. Like I couldn't have just been like, all right, let me just show up and do something creative. It wouldn't have been that. I had to go through my 5 years of trials and tribulations and go through every single piece and part for me to come to the point where I'm like, all right, I overturned every stone. What's the last thing I could possibly do to really raise the level, since this is probably the last time I'm gonna do this, win or lose. And I felt like it was just the right thing. And like I had to get built up to that moment. I just wanted to say that. And then I want to say as well, you know, like you could be Steph Curry, you could be whoever, and you could average 30. You feel me? Like, not to like be on some ego shit, but I know I'm good. You feel me? And I could drop 30. But I feel like the universe kind of just looked out for me with you being there, you being my favorite rapper, and you being the first rapper that ever blew my mind. You know what I mean? I remember being up Christmas Eve 2006, texting my friend talking about American Terrorists when it was still the leak version, Close Your Mind. You feel me? Like, I remember talking about that shit like, yo, this shit is mind blowing. This nigga is like talking crazy. And I've actually just lost my train of thought. But anyway.
Osiris, am I
Papa left.
yo, Osiris, I know that I said this earlier, you're the only one who peeped it, but everybody's talking about the Last Dance documentary of Michael Jordan, and you're supposedly retired from all MC Challenge competitions. But secretly, I know during this 24 hours of Easy, you've had maybe a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet somewhere and taking all the potential judges that are going to come hopping into the next challenge. And you've been like, all right, this is his soft bone. This is what makes him soft. This is what his introspection is, because I don't believe for a goddamn second that you're retired. You're definitely the Jordan of this shit.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
I know.
I'm really done with it. And in the spirit of Vice, I wanna help make the challenge as juicy as possible.
Nah, man. Nah, you got killers.
Stop fronting, Osiris. You know you got a number 1 jersey sitting around.
Bro. They got to contend with Papa. Yo, I already knew Papa was gonna. You saw Papa. See, I don't know if you was there for when Papa did the concept from the what movie was that?
Us.
I don't know if he was there, Lupe, when he did the Us concept. And I was like, if he didn't do that shit, I would have done that shit. I'm all right. And this year, I was like, yo, Papa's gonna level up again, and he's gonna have fucking George Lucas inside that bitch, and he's just gonna be going crazy. And so, they got to contend with these other cats. You feel me? Like,
yo,
you can't
just
show up.
Moment right now. This is exactly what Vice would want us to be doing. Is like some sports censor about the challenge, about upcoming competition, about who's training. Like, right now, the God is smiling, man. For real, for real. So
yo,
let's indulge in that thought, yo.
The shit is so trippy, like, to bring it full circle, because I was actually, one of y'all Sosa brothers had interviewed me, Lupe, on Friday night. And we did like a little interview, and when it was wrapped up, he was like, "Does anybody want to shout out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, I got to shout out to Dub, and already threw y'all up crazy." And like, thinking back, like, yo, my man was already gone while I was shouting out the Dub, like thinking about potential shit that I was going to do with him while I'm in this moment having a convo with my favorite rappers, students who look to me. And it was just like a crazy, like, just wrap up of a situation. So yeah.
Man, I really appreciate what the Dub has done for the art, man. Like, to level people up, to humble people, to give other MCs targets to strive and achieve for. And when you're around, it's like a steel factory, steel sharpen steel, sharpen steel, sharpen steel. And so even from the moments being there just judging and watching, I'm a constant student of the game, constantly learning. I think I said that last night. I mean, on the night of the finals. But I always appreciate, crucibles like that you step in 20%, you might leave out 22% better, even the little pieces. But I really appreciate y'all, the whole team, including Vice and Zoo and all y'all, man, just to be able to maintain that and weather the storm and different things. And at the end of the day, produce, you know, just incredible MCs for the world. You know, like that shit is just so, you know, potent. And, you know, I look at, you know, Vice as like an OG Godfather, OG, you know, Steve Jobs of the shit, you know, and I hope that his legacy, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure that his legacy lives on even in that capacity, as well as somebody that can take a, you know, a fledgling or upstart MC and turn him into a fucking killer, you know. And that's some, you know, as a you know, as a lover of the art and a lifelong rapper, you know, people like that are you know, they rare, you know. So he's a beautiful thing, man. I really appreciate it.
Salute, bro. We are eternally grateful for your participation in this. We're going to hold you to that. We're going to have some SOSA members throughout the years in these challenges. And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. Lupe Fiasco performing live at the EODUB 20-year anniversary.
We need Lupe. We need Lupe in the challenge. That's what we actually need.
Versus Neo.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Lupe versus Neo. Yeah, B, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, Gaga.
word.
Yo, Lupe. So that's what it's gonna take to get Osiris out of retirement.
He's got to go against Lupe.
Let's do an in-house challenge.
Yo, we got in the weeks coming up, before all this COVID piece hit. Like when you, if even it's still gonna go down. You know, we're gonna have an EODUB competition for sure. Watch how we come into the building.
Ooh.
Bro, we got jerseys, corporate sponsors. We finna wave through that, bro.
Oh, he talking spicy.
I don't know. The only thing that matters is that you get your bars up. So we about to see. We gonna show up in wife beaters and honor Vice for real.
Don't listen. Do whatever you need to do. Be raggedy as you want. We gonna come in there looking slick like a team of killers.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Lupe.
We never said raggedy, baby.
Lupe, you need to jump in the competition. We're gonna do it like a Dave Chappelle show. Make everybody put their camera phones in a bag so we don't record this shit for clout. And niggas gonna get their work. You feel me?
If that brings you out of retirement, if that's what brings you out of retirement, listen, we got a couple assassins, which is the word that's going around.
I don't know.
We got some killers
bring
that are sitting
you out of retirement.
in the wings, rubbing their hands together, waiting to get a piece of you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. Osiris Anthem versus Lupe.
MC challenge.
Cut these shenanigans, Zeus.
I gotta throw gas on it while
Real news.
You being a ventriloquist right now. Cut it out, Zoo. Words I never said. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Lupe, we love you, my G. We are just, it's. I got goosebumps. I'm gonna keep it up all the way above. I got goosebumps right now with you on the line with my family talking about my brother, and it's just amazing. It's just a tribute to Vice continually throughout this conversation. He brought people together. There's people all over the globe still on this call, and he brought one of the greatest MCs alive into our fold, and we salute you, bro. We thank you for all you've done thus far, and our continued relationship is gonna build moving forward. We're thankful, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man. I ain't gonna eat up the airtime. I'm gonna get back into writing some songs. I actually was thinking about writing something for Vice last night, so I think I'm gonna continue on that kind of thought process. And captivate him, give him the portrait, you know, that I feel like he deserves, you know.
That's dope. Feel free to, call me because I got some bars on that. If you want to make that pop. Lupe, you the best, my G. Salute.
Love y'all,
family.
Man.
We here, family.
Oh, much love, Lupe. Thank you for the last. Thank you for the last 15 years of everything that you did, bro. Appreciate you.
Love you, bro. Y'all be good.
Respect.
Okay, we have reached the super bonus rounds right here.